welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tales podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Wednesday night, ready to do some podcasting.
Yes, sir.
You can find us everywhere you get podcasting. Programming note for our premium folk. We are gonna do Balls D Sports this week, but Justin's got a crazy schedule. And so we were running through options. We were like gonna just do it without him because it's been like 3 weeks since we did the sports show. But what we settled on is we're gonna do a late night edition of the show tomorrow. So it'll be at 9:30 at night.
Ooh, y'all better take a nap.
That we're starting. And it probably will not be the longest show.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Right, but just letting y'all know, we got y'all. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
And bullet ball, extreme. And there's all kinds of stuff to get into. Let's start with this though.
Again? Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black out who tips is doing their part, but the dummies expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault. Motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault the motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit. I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship. The fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis dealt the Kupo, blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans, man. Damn. Looks like it's no true holiday for you and your mans. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus, yeah. Fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah. So fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah.
Coronavirus news. There's only a couple articles, but it's been a while since we talked about it, guys. It didn't go away. But it's going down. I mean, I had to give it some level of credit.
Right.
You know,
that's a good thing.
I thought I had saved this article and I may have saved it somewhere else, but I know our local hospitals in Charlotte are no longer requiring masks in just common areas and stuff, which is, you know, that's a lot. That says a lot. I think what's happening is that the people with extreme anxiety about coronavirus and COVID and all this stuff, I don't blame you. Be safe as you feel, because really at this point it's about people's feelings, right? Whether they want to admit it or not. But the numbers are going down enough for, you know, people to feel like, yeah, this is just a risk of everyday life now. And when a hospital does that, of course some people are going to be like, nah, fuck that. Well, no one's going to make you take off a mask. But I think it's a good sign that the places that, you know, that keep track of this and deal with the patients from it are like, yeah, so it's dying. We've seen enough evidence of it dying down that we can do this.
And like you said, it's one of those things where adjust accordingly, because something that I had to get a better understanding, and you know, we've talked about this before, all of it is whatever your comfortable level is. Like for me, if I was going to the hospital, I'm still gonna still wear a mask, bitch. I don't give a fuck. But that's just me. Because when you're dealing with hospitals, so you're dealing with sick people, period, anyway. And so for me, I'm like, I would still do it. But you know what? If you do, if you don't, it's not a requirement. That's all they're saying. It's just not a requirement.
Yeah, it was always gonna be about people's comfort level at some point, because I think we said the whole time, like, it sounds like this is a thing we're gonna have to have in our society forever. Like, we're not gonna eradicate this thing. And so you just stay vaxxed up and you try to be cautious where you can be. But yeah, at some point this is gonna be what's up. The good news also in this case, long COVID symptoms are less common now than earlier in the pandemic.
That's actually great news.
Yeah. This was an analysis of nearly 5 million U.S. patients who had COVID. A study based on a collaboration between the Washington Post and research partners shows that 1 in 16 people with Omicron received medical care for symptoms associated with long COVID within several months of being infected. Patients exposed to the coronavirus during the first wave of the pandemic illness from early 2000 to late spring 2021 were the most prone to develop long COVID, with it being 1 in 12 people, which, that's a pretty high percentage.
Yeah, that's true too. And also, it's like I said, it's one of those things where you have to kind of adjust according. Like I said, it's one of the things where also when they're doing these tests, I wonder, are they doing it based off of just in general? I wonder, are they keeping track of vaccinated or non-vaccinated? And then what is their definition of vaccinated?
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, those numbers matter too when you get these statistics.
The findings also show patients that with certain underlying medical conditions are twice as likely as previously healthy people to seek care for symptoms associated with long COVID. About 9% of patients with any of those pre-existing conditions received treatment for long COVID in the 6 months after they came down with COVID, compared to about 4.6% who did not have those prior health problems. So yeah, it goes into like if you have lung disease, kidney disease, and how that's affected. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it broken down by vaccination. Let me
yeah, because I'm pretty sure with a lot of this stuff, those play a factor into these numbers too dropping.
Right.
Because you do have people that like me and you got all of the shots.
Right.
And you have people that got some of the shots. And did you have people that got none of the shots? Like, so when you give these numbers, like maybe just the way my mind tick, it
you're
would
right.
matter to me.
You're right. And they didn't. I'm looking at this article. They didn't break it down, it seems, by vaccination or not vaccination, which I think
for me that matters.
It would matter because we know for a fact that those numbers do reduce when you bring up vaccine, but instead they broke it down by like pre-existing conditions rather than vaccinated or not vaccinated, which is interesting.
Yeah, that they lumped them all together. So okay, there's going to be some vaccinated people in this group, so of course these numbers are going to be
also though more. You know what though, Karen, they probably dropped it because it's so complicated to who's vaccinated now. If you got the first shot, if you got Johnson & Johnson, if you know what I'm saying? So then you would have had to break these numbers even further to like who's up to date, who's behind, what's the difference in this state, what's the difference in that state. So maybe that's why they chose not to complicate the data with that.
Yeah, and I get that, but for somebody like me, I'm like, oh, that matters because
it does matter. No, it does. I'm not. This isn't a debate where I'm saying you're wrong. I'm saying that must be why that might be why they didn't do it. Is it just would have ended up being so many more categories and numbers, and it's and I mean we've read studies where vaccinated, they'll be like more vaccinated people are dying of COVID than unvaccinated. And it's like y'all are talking about people that took the one shot, maybe two. And we're 3 years into the pandemic, so actually you're not talking about people that are fully vaccinated, but what are you gonna do?
Right.
The WHO says no evidence that healthy children and adolescents need COVID-19 boosters. There's no evidence at present that healthy children and adolescents need booster doses of COVID-19 vaccine, said the WHO chief scientist. Speaking at a news briefing, she said that while there seems to be some waning of vaccine immunity over time against the rapidly spread Omicron variant of the coronavirus, more research needs to be done to ascertain who needs actual like boosters doses. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, I guess
that's the WHO, and they've been the most like I don't want to say alarmist, but the most like stringent. That like they're go way harder than the CDC. So if they're saying it, that's them. What am I didn't do the study.
Nope, I didn't do the study, and like I said, it's about how you feel. And I'm like, I want all the shots. Give me one every year, bitch. Like I'm like, let's do it.
Well, you're not a healthy teen or a child, so it wouldn't apply to you anyway.
I'm not a healthy teen or a child.
So I think
I don't got that strong immune system.
No one's gonna stop you from getting vaccinated if you want to, Karen. All right, let's go to some other news. Actually, you know what? I know we just kind of did it on a different episode, but on the last episode, but the news ain't stopping. Let's do some LGBTQ news.
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body. You better move your feet. And I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news.
I try to take us down, but we still around.
We lit.
I try to still shine, but we on the rise.
We lit.
But you can't do what we thought to do.
We lit.
Black guys, tips.
LGBTQ news.
All right, LGBTQ news. Let's talk about it. Transgender student athlete ban on the books in Kansas following 3 years of GOP campaigning. That's right, they officially made it law today, and it's a draconian law. This is one of those laws where, like, if someone challenges your child's eligibility to play a sport in the with the gender of their choosing, or whether, however you define their gender, right? If they just challenge it, they don't agree. Challenges could require the kids to undergo genital inspections or require a birth certificate proof for the child's gender. Now, some people are like, probably the bigoted people, or hopefully they don't listen to this show, but people that feel a little more whatever about trans rights, they're like, they should look at them, but motherfucker, you don't know. They finna be looking at whoever
they want to. And I tell you right now, this doesn't stop with trans people. It trickles down to everybody. What happens if you have just a straight girl who happens to have a higher level of testosterone out here whooping everybody's ass? They're gonna start challenging that too.
But not just that, but I think about it as well with, like, just blackness.
Yes.
Like, I think a lot of time we already struggle in America with conceptualizing a black feminine person, especially a black woman, with, like, associating them with masculinity and shit, if they're any type of excellence in the athleticism and whatnot. I mean, look at the way people reacted to Angel doing the same shit that Caitlyn had been doing all fucking season. Mm-hmm. It was all of a sudden, it was like, not to this white girl. Like, it was, whether people want to admit that that's what is in them or not, that's what I felt from people. Mm-hmm. I don't think Keith Olbermann would even admit to that. But that's the thing about, that type of bigotry or racism or whatever, especially for the quote unquote good people, the allies, they're never going to examine themselves and come back and go, fuck, maybe that's what happened. They're always like, what are you calling me a racist? The accusation is worse than the proof, right? Mm-hmm. So if you think when someone sees, like, just a dominant black girl, mm-hmm, especially if they're, forget straight, you could be bi, you could be queer, you could be lesbian. There's a lot of androgyny or like, quote, for lack of a better term, butch basketball player culture for women. That's like, cut your hair, you wear clothes that people mostly associate with dudes and shit. Mm-hmm. Imagine somebody being like, I need to look at your genitals. You too good.
Yeah, and also the thing is, you're gonna subject them to this over and over and over again, because you do it, they prove it, somebody else gonna challenge you. You do it, they prove it. Like how many? Like is there a limit? If I do it one time, is that it, or do you consistently challenge it?
I don't know. I'd imagine that one time is enough, but yeah, the point being is it's really to intimidate trans people, but this is what happens with bigotry. Everybody gets swept up in this bullshit.
Yes.
So now you're gonna have other people dealing with it. And yes, I'm throwing race in it because mm-hmm, the people I've seen the most, like, called out that weren't, like, trans, the people who are cis that I've seen the most, like, question about their bodies, it's been black women.
Yes.
So I just could see this shit turn into some racial shit too, just because these black girls look too good at track. Idaho approves a bill to jail doctors for 10 years if they help trans youth.
Yeah, the whole thing is to make it stop. Like, they might not pass the law, but they pass the law without passing the law.
Right.
Because what happens is,
they did pass this law.
I mean, they passed this law, but it's one of those things where other people will end up not doing things, or if they don't even want to be considered associated with
it's
it.
to scare you.
Yes.
A doctor will, how many doctors, because doctors don't want to go to jail for 10 years. And a lot of times it's like you're compelled to defend yourself. It costs money to get a lawyer and do all this shit, go to trial, take time out of your life. And even if you're found not guilty of this shit, the fight of it is so extensive, it can make a person go, I just ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, it's very taxing,
which is what they want.
Right. And like somebody about in chat, this does cause a lot of hospitals to close. It causes a lot of hospitals to close. It causes a lot of places that are designed to help people just to shut down. It was like, well, we don't want them. We don't want to have to consistently deal with the harassment and all this shit.
Well, I don't even know that they're gonna close. It's just they're gonna not help trans youth, because once again, we're talking about a very small percentage of the population. So it's not like, oh no, if we don't help with gender affirming care, we won't make enough money as a hospital to stay in business. Like that's not going to be the issue. It's going to just literally be like, we will not service you.
Right.
Your health will not be taken care of here. And because we're scared, because I'm not even going to assume if they were already willing to do this kind of work, I'm assuming they're probably not bigots. They're probably people that are good people that want to help. And then it's like someone tells you, well, this might be 10 years of you no longer being able to be around your family and friends and live life and be gainfully employed.
Most people,
it's a lot of people that's going to fold on that.
Yeah, most people are not willing to take that choice. And it's also one of those things, like I would continue to say, it starts with them and it trickles around everywhere else. All of a sudden, it starts with trans. All of a sudden, I don't want to serve you because you Black. I don't want to serve you because you Latino. I don't want to, like it branches into other laws. It don't stop here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that part, about it passing a law that like Black people can't be served here.
You don't pass the laws, but you pass laws where they could be interpreted certain ways. You leave language very vague on purpose sometimes, just so if somebody decides to do some shit, it's not written. Like they can discriminate openly.
I think they already do that. That's what medical racism is. Like I know it's fruit of the same tree, but I just think it's different. Like there's not you're going to jail for 10 years because you helped a Black person.
No.
Like that's just racism to me.
Yes. and I understand that, but because the way this shit works, a lot of times they make these laws very vague. They make them ambiguous. They make them where they could be interpreted all types of ways. And eventually, not now, not tomorrow, but eventually it'll start trickling down to other ways where all of a sudden they can discriminate in other ways that people would consider okay. That's not okay.
I agree with that. I think the examples you've made about it just being like, you Mexican, I ain't, you Black or you brown. But no, I definitely agree with you in that.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be those specific things, but I think it'll be stuff like your immigration status, your we don't know what the rule is with the abortions in our state, so we not prescribing any type of medical. We won't even do like a procedure to save a woman's life who's about to have like a stillborn situation. Like, so no, I totally agree. I just think like I don't know. It'll be like I would have took care of them Black people, but 10 years in prison. But I definitely think yes, it'll trickle down, it'll expand, and it'll leave stuff up to interpretation for doctors to be like, yes, I was scared when it really was just I was racist or whatever.
Yes, because like everything else, you start here and everybody else get fucking swept up underneath the rug, whether they want to be or not.
Well, the other thing, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No problem. I said that I feel like everybody else gets swept up underneath the rug, whether they want to be or not. And maybe it's just the way my mind ticks, and everything to me rolls back to racism, and everything to me rolls back to you just don't want people to have rights, period. And so, like you say, it starts with the marginalized people, and then it trickles to another marginalized group just a little bit bigger, then another marginalized group just a little bit bigger. And like you say, it might not be flat out, I'm not serving you, blah, 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 you don't get 10 years. But like I say, they love to do the vague shit where it could be interpreted any type of way that they want to do, and there's no consequences or repercussions to their actions.
Yeah, I think also we're like, I think for a large part of this stuff, it's not that people want to discriminate. Like, these doctors want to help. They're being told they can't. So I just like, that's where to me the difference is. Like, the other doctors are like, I don't want to do this. Here's an excuse. Well, they're already doing that. You can't make somebody do trans affirming care right now. The other thing too is like, gender affirming care is such a broad sweeping term because people hear it and they think of trans people. They think of people transitioning genders and stuff like that. Gender affirming care is fucking breast augmentation. Mm-hmm. Gender affirming care is anything to do with the reproductive system.
Right.
Gender affirming care is hormones where men take testosterone when they get older. Women take estrogen. It's menopause. It's so much shit that is centered around like gender and medicine, but we don't consider it that because we're the cisgendered mainstream people. So we're like, that's just going to the doctor. And it's like, all this shit, if you a BBL is some gender affirming shit to a certain extent. Like,
it is, you
getting it to solidify yourself as a certain type of body that you want to have and present to people.
Yeah, and also, it's one of those things where like you say, gender affirming care, everything gets swept up under that. So now if I need a hysterectomy as a straight woman, I'm mixed in with the shit too, and all of a sudden I can't get the shit that I need because y'all consider that quote unquote gender affirming care.
Weight a lot of times the weight surgery people get is about attractiveness and trying to identify a certain way with your body. It's just, I feel like, yeah, it is a slippery slope, and there's so many ways it can slip,
Yes, sir.
But yeah, when you see these bills, it's all about intimidating people.
Yeah.
A New York judge got fired after his pornographic OnlyFans side hustle got revealed.
Oh shit!
His name was Gregory A. Locke, 33. He served as an administrative law judge in New York City until last week. He was recently terminated from his position for unprofessional behavior. Turns out he reportedly had been showing the long arm of the law on his OnlyFans page.
Not the long arm!
Since 2020.
He been showing that magic stick on the bench.
Locke described himself as a white-collar professional by day and very unprofessional by night. He goes on to note that his content is always amateur, always raw, and always slutty.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. His account contained dozens of images and videos featuring hardcore pornography, orgies, and instances of him drinking the contents of what appears to be used condoms.
What?
That's one I never understood. And maybe I just don't know enough about STDs. But I always been like, if you have a condom, isn't the point to not get what's in the condom in you?
Yeah, it's for protection.
But
right.
I know it's probably some type of fetish or whatnot. But it just feel like the fetish wasn't completely thought out. I don't know. I was never going to focus on work if I didn't let this out. He wrote on OnlyFans November 2022 before masturbating in front of a camera. Guess what kind of porn I was watching in the middle of my workday during this quick orgasm break? No,
dog. Nah, dog.
I was with him. I was on this side. I was on this side a little bit. I was about to defend this man. You can't be jacking off at work, bro. Sorry. Under no circumstances, I'm not down with that. I don't want no judge. Now, that being said, if I had this dude on the bench, my case was coming before him, would I like him to jack off before a ruling? Absolutely.
Be relaxed. I'm trying to tell you, be relaxed. Don't come here all tensed up.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna get you off time served. Don't even worry about it. You know what? I need a sandwich and a nap. I'm gonna go back to my chambers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sitting there, poof. What is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Banging your gavel before banging your gavel is quite the side hustle. Well, this is a sassy article.
Shit, you got 2 gavels. What are we talking about?
He charged subscribers $12 a month on OnlyFans and $9.99 for fans.
That's a low price for them services.
The post spoke to Dominic Ford, the founder of Just for Fans, who said that the former judge has the opportunity to be earning over $100,000 a year if he posted more content. Locke's employment troubles again after he tweeted that city councilwoman Vicky Palladino should choke on her dick. in response to her criticism of the New York's AG's drag queen story hour for children. So he was like supporting the drag story hour for children. And he told this woman who was against it, choke on the dick, which kind of seems like his thing. And for $12 a month, you can see it.
You need to raise your prices.
Well, she then filed a complaint against him, and per the councilwoman, after some investigation, the floodgates opened and he was fired. So now she's calling for him to be disbarred. Damn. Oh man, that's crazy. He was talking shit.
You should be, like I said, it's one of the things where when you do that, people don't like you. They're gonna go digging.
Yeah, Twitter ain't got no rules. Just because you're on the right side of the issue don't mean you want me on the wrong side of the unemployment line.
Come on.
Motherfuckers do not care. He jacking off on the bench. Fuck, I should have deleted that first. Kid Rock shot up 4 cases of beer. And I don't mean like he did shots or shotgunned them.
Right.
I mean, he took a gun and shot the cases of beer.
What? Oh, perfectly good beer. What is wrong with you? Must have been that cheap shit.
Grandpa.
First of all, Kid Rock
risky today.
He's looking bad.
Right? Okay. I
He's
thought I was the
down
only
bad.
one going, you don't even look.
Damn, that scissor be aging people, bro.
Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible.
This bud's for you.
I'll give you a beer and a shot.
Doesn't look like Budweiser, a Bud Light, one of the Buds.
Yeah, it's more like Bud Dumber. Wait, what happened to the volume on this?
Oh. Fuck Bud Light.
What is Bud Light?
Fuck Anheuser-Busch.
Oh shit!
Have a terrific day.
So the reason
Anheuser-Busch too.
So the reason he's doing that is because they came out with cans that had rainbows on them. They announced a partnership with the Legacy Beer Company trans influencer Dylan Molenvey. Okay. Announced a partnership with the Legacy Beer Company with a pick of custom beer cans featuring her image and celebrating the 26-year-old's 365 days of girlhood. The beer cans aren't being widely distributed. They were for her show on social media, but Kid Rock did not like it.
You can't even get one. The fuck you talking about?
Right.
Like, who cares? Not trying funny, and Bud Light is like the basic bitch beer. Like, I don't mean no harm for those that love it, but
but it is also supporting trans rights and being inclusive, which means they go woke, so they got to go broke. So of course you got to go to the store, buy 4 cases,
and shoot them up.
So they get your money. Then don't even drink the beer that you bought, which
defeats the purpose.
So then you get a camera person to hold your phone, so you can, not sideways by the way, hold a phone so you can set up a table with a stand with 4 cases of beer on it. Go to some land where you hopefully won't ricochet and kill nobody. So you gotta find this place that's not crowded.
Hopefully there was nobody that was just roaming in the forest or some shit.
Then you pull out your machine gun, your AR-15, and then you fucking shoot up. That's what we're doing with the AR-15, shooting up beer, shooting up kids. That's all we fucking use them for in America.
That's it.
Fuck, man. What a fucking idiot. Oh boy. All right. We'll do one more. Lil Nas X issues an apology to the trans community after mocking gender confirming surgery.
Oh no!
Yeah, he deleted a social media post that was accused of mocking gender confirming surgery. His real name is Montero Lamar Hill. He shared a photo of a woman that resembled him with the caption, "The surgery was a success." At the backlash erupted, the Old Town Road rapper didn't immediately apologize or clap back in a now deleted tweet that read, "I'm literally just saying she looks like me. Y'all cannot be fucking serious." According to BuzzFeed News, he further engaged with commenters via snark and admitted anger. When one follower asked why he had to mention surgery, he said, "Because the woman photograph has titties. Are you dense?" He later issued an official apology for the response, writing, "Apologies to the trans community. I def handled that situation with anger instead of considering why I was not cool. Much love to you guys. Sorry." While some did think he didn't have anything to be sorry for to begin with, others felt the apology wasn't enough. A black trans artist by the name of Edge Slayer said, "Baby, this apology ain't it. You need to apologize to the trans community in material ways that include money, sharing your platform to raise awareness. This is fake as hell." You can never tell with that kind of shit. Hopefully somebody's on the up and up that wrote that.
But when they come from that angle, sound like that hustle.
Yeah, you just never know. I'm not even
it's not, and everybody's not about that, but you just never know.
Yeah, I know he's done some work and raised money for LGBTQ people before, so I don't know if I don't know exactly what will happen. His 2021 album Montero, when he announced that, he asked fans to donate to a specific list of charities, including Trans Inclusive Group, an organization led by Black trans people that provides resources for trans and gender non-conforming people of color. So I know he does have a history of, putting money and stuff. The main thing for me with this, and I try to call balls and strikes, be as fair as I can. Not my table. Really not my table. Really not for me to decide. That's up for the trans community to decide. I saw a whole lot of fighting on Twitter between different folks within the community where like people didn't even agree with each other, and then they were fighting over this dude.
Have their own rules.
And I think it's just like blackness. It's just like any other marginalized group. It's not a monolith, and it's gonna be fighting. There's gonna be people you like, you don't like. Apologies you accept, you don't. It's not really up to one person. So I feel like it just wasn't for me to decide. And I think him apologizing seemed like the right thing to do if you really didn't mean to piss all those people off and stuff. And then also I think kind of like Lizzo, kind of like Beyonce, kind of with the spaz thing. Once you're in the spotlight and you're at the top of something, it's a microscope, man. Like something that wouldn't have been an infraction literally 2-3 years ago, or it might not have caught on. Like someone might have got mad, but like everybody might not have caught wind of how mad people were.
Right
now that you at the top of the list of famous people, like it's gonna go viral. People gonna be mad.
People gonna have all types of opinions.
And I think also like this shout out. Who thought in this segment I'd be saying these words? Shout out to Dave Chappelle. He made this joke during like one of his first specials, like I think his second special or something for Netflix. And as shitty as his trans thoughts and jokes are, the one about the LGBT community and the car, this is it, because I've seen it also with like comedians and stuff that are gay, that are lesbian, coming out and shitting on trans people and making fun of them, like not even shitting on them in some like, hey, it's because we all cool and I love y'all. It's like low key on some like, God, y'all really be asking for too much. It's difficult. I can't keep up. And you see the divide within the community right there on display, and a lot of people double down, the unapologeticness, the anger of like, how dare you feel differently about me for what I said. I don't know if it'll ever be resolved, because different people move throughout the world with different levels of privilege, and there's different levels of acceptance and expectation. So like a gay man rapper seemed like an impossibility just 5-10 years ago.
Right
now, a Lil Nas X is not impossible anymore, but that doesn't necessarily mean, and people have quote unquote allowed him to move around through the space and all this shit. That don't necessarily mean that that person is gonna be the best spokesperson or the best ally to trans people all the time. Like there's gonna be shit that he finds funny that might offend somebody else. And and then the last thing I'll say too is like some of this shit is like stuff that people let slide. Like when he dropped Montero and he did the like pregnancy reveal thing, it was more considered like a cute funny thing. There were some people obviously that were upset. There's never going to be anything we say on the show where everyone was in 100% agreement, but it was kind of like people were still fucking with him. They really liked him. And so it seemed like he got to do that without too much of a pushback. But maybe people getting tired of that shit, or maybe he not dropping as much hits as or whatever. But yeah, it just mostly felt like I hope everybody figures that one out, because I definitely don't feel qualified to be telling anybody how to feel about that shit.
Agreed.
So I know I said that was the last one, but I forgot to mention that they passed a law in Tennessee against drag shows, and the federal judge struck it down.
Good.
So good for that. We'll see if that comes back up. Yeah, this thing with the drag shows is wild, man. It just feels like one of those. It feels like the thing with the bathrooms in schools where they're letting kids dress as furries and eat dog food in the bathroom and pee in litter boxes and shit. And you're like, did this happen?
Right. None of that happened. What are you talking about?
Like, where are you at that you think this is happening? And where do you be at online that y'all act like this is normal?
Right.
Because I'm guessing that this didn't happen. And I'm also guessing that the only people talking about it is the people that run in a certain circle online.
Agreed.
All right, let's move into some other news. Let's do some regular ass news. All right, regular ass news time. Man, I'm so mad at this woman.
Oh, what happened?
Like, I've been trying to be a fair person in my head. I'm trying to be a good person. And I'm trying not to be toxic. But I can't think of this woman's name without that part from Smoking Out the Window coming in every time I say her name. Okay? Y'all know which part.
This bitch got me.
I'm trying my best, y'all. I'm trying my best. But I fucking think I hate this woman.
Who are we talking about?
North Carolina Democratic legislator Tricia Cotham. She defected to the GOP, even though she ran as a liberal Democrat.
Oh, she doing that shit that whatchamacallit did. You run on one thing, get in the office, and you be doing some fuck shit.
She doing that white woman Kirsten Sinema shit.
Yes.
And I'm so fucking furious because if y'all understand how fucking hard we work here, how we vote here
in this state,
how shit is rigged, gerrymandered, and how some people just don't give a fuck and just hand shit to Republicans like it's just gonna be all good. Like we don't have a history to look at to be like, this is what happened when Republicans get to be in charge. Mm-hmm. And so she's handing a Republican super majority in both branches of the state legislature to the Republicans by flipping parties.
What?
This neutralizes Roy Cooper's, our governor, his veto power for the next 2 years. He is the only thing that has been saving our state from sliding into like a Republican bullshit. And the reasoning for this, y'all, is so fucking infuriating. So the reasoning for this, she didn't show up for a vote where Republicans were able to pass like another one of those, like, everybody, you get a gun, don't worry about no permit type of law. And so people was like, rightfully so, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
We voted for you, bitch. What is you doing?
Why didn't you show up?
Right.
And so she said, because people called her out for not showing up, she decided, and keep in mind, she comes from a long history of Democratic politicians, right? She's the child of Pat Cotham. So people voted for her partially because of her family history,
right?
Of like, well, of course she's a Democrat, right? She got like 60% of the vote. She won like a primary to have 4 people in it, and it's mostly off her family's name and the fact that her family is historically Democrat. So her thing was, and it's a Democrat stronghold, meaning if they would have known she was conservative, she would have lost.
Yes.
Like this wasn't like her name rang out in the street, so that's why she won. She won because she fucking lied. She's not. Anyway, her thing is, I'm going to the GOP because y'all got too mad at me for allowing the permit thing to pass right in the wake of another school shooting. So people were mad, rightfully so, like, why aren't you blocking this? Show up and vote, do your fucking job. And she went, they're being mean to me. Well, just for that, I'm gonna be a Republican now. That's her fucking general conceit to all this.
And she not gonna want all people gonna be in the ass. Like I would protest that bitch every goddamn day. That makes no fucking sense. And this is the shit that pisses you off. Don't lie. Don't lie to us. Don't lie. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Say what you are. Don't come in here with this fuck shit like Christian Cinnamon and all them shit, talking about you gonna do this, do that, then get in there. You don't do the fucking thing. You do goddamn everything the opposite of what you said, and then wonder why people get mad. And then you know what? She fuck around. She's not gonna run no more. Cause people go like, bitch, we're not gonna vote for you again. Fuck you.
Right.
Fuck you.
It's honestly all day long in my head, because I know I was gonna talk about this on the show. All day long, it's just been a struggle. It's just been.
That don't make no sense, particularly in this goddamn state.
It's just
Bitch, this, bitch, this, bitch, this, bitch.
Every all day. That's like every time I see her name and I think about this segment on the show and we're gonna talk about it, it's just I don't understand.
Right.
And like someone got a couple people tried to call me out on social media over this. Because I tweeted that I'm fucking sick of these white women running as liberal and then turning conservative once they get in the office, like Kirsten Sinema did.
Yes.
And this woman. And 2 people that the main 2 people that took exception with it, some jerk, I don't know his name, but he was like, this is racist, assuming that them being white women is a da-da-da-da. First of all, who else doing this?
But I'm gonna tell you right now. How you tell me how many black women do you see run on this shit and then turn around and be like, "Hey, dog, tomorrow I'm gonna be a Republican." Fuck.
Not just black women, anybody.
Right.
What demographic got some more of these? Run as a liberal, then turn conservative? No, that ain't. So that dude, I was just like, first of all, white women have not earned the benefit of the doubt. Over half of them, and it increased under Trump, vote conservative. So no, they have not acquitted themselves to where I can go, well, nah, this is not no white woman shit. It seemed like some white women shit. And you need to handle that. The second thing was a person said, some black woman was trying to take up for Kirsten Sinema for some reason. Like, I didn't know she became a Republican.
What
and I said, I didn't say the words Republican. I said run as a liberal and then turn conservative.
Right.
She absolutely did that. She know what she doing. So I don't know, man. It's like they're trying to protect these women or some shit. It's, you know, the white woman tier shit. But yeah, man, fuck her, man.
Right, because this is the bullshit that people be talking about, and this is why, you know, people like me get upset when I be like, y'all do know people don't vote for this shit, and this is the shit we end up getting. We live here too. We shouldn't have to move. We shouldn't have to leave or any of that shit. We should be represent. She's supposed to represent, bitch.
Right. Here's her talking about
modern day Democratic Party has become unrecognizable to me and to so many others throughout this state.
Keep in mind also, you can go look at her tweets and see what she was talking about. She was when she was running just last year, it wasn't unrecognizable then. She was on every fucking talking point. She didn't have no conservative talking points mixed in with her shit. It was all the shit that Democrats say. Now it's unrecognizable. Really? Like, did you get a check?
Something happened.
But of course, this thing is starting to act stupid. But
something happened, and it's very, very frustrating because like people voted for you for one thing.
Right. Go ahead.
And then all of a sudden, when you get into office, you get the power, you do the complete opposite. At least the Republicans.
And to so many others.
I didn't mean to do that. Go ahead.
No problem. At least the Republicans is like, fuck them, and they fuck them forever. And they, like they don't change. Mm-hmm. Like they're very consistent with their message.
Throughout this state.
Yeah, we haven't had a turncoat Republican
in this country.
Joe Lieberman.
The party wants to.
I think Joe Lieberman. Anyway.
Villainize anyone who has free thought, free judgment, has solutions, who wants to get to work to better our state, not just sit in a meeting and have a workshop after a workshop, but really work with individuals to get things done, because that's what real public servants do.
Now, is that what she thinks the GOP is doing when they're gerrymandering? When they're passing voter restriction laws, when they're passing voter ID laws, is that what's happening? They're sitting down working with the people when we know that the majority of people voted Democrat in America in North Carolina, but that's not reflected at all in our state map.
Mm-mm.
Is that the same thing? This is
that bullshit, and it's very, very, very frustrating. And it's one of those things where, yes, you do need to be held accountable. Yes, they should be in your ass. Yes, they should be upset. You know, the people that voted you in office should be on your ass every goddamn day. You should not be allowed to run again. They'll be like, no, we're going to put somebody up against you and you will never get this fucking seat again.
That's the thing. She's in office. You don't have a chance to vote her out until 2 years. She won't resign.
Right.
Like this shit, like honestly, if this truly is how you feel, you should resign, because you can't do the job. The people that elected you didn't elect you to go join the fucking GOP.
Right.
You fucking stole their vote.
Yes, you did, because they wouldn't have voted for you.
And
you know that.
Is it okay if I call him one?
But
right,
yeah.
They would not have voted. They would not have put you in office, and you know that.
If you don't do exactly what the Democrats want you to do, they will try to bully you.
And Republicans don't do that at all, right? These niggas tried to insurrect the country and then kicked every Republican who said that was a little too far, kicked them right out of office. Ask Liz Cheney about bullying amongst her peers. Fuck out of here, man. So yeah, it pissed me off so bad. Let's keep going down this road. Maryland AG report into Archdiocese of Baltimore alleges that 156 Catholic clergy members and others abused more than 600 children.
Damn. That's a lot of kids.
Yes. And the thing that's crazy to me, J.L. Covan is more upset about Angel Reese than his own church doing this. It's crazy to me. 600 kids or one black woman doing the Tony Yayo. You tell me what's worse, but you'll never see this on his podcast. He'll be forgiving the pedophiles over there. From the 1940s to 2002, over 100 priests and other archdiocese personnel engaged in horrific and repeated abuse of the most vulnerable children in their communities, while archdiocese leadership looked the other way, to report reads. Time and again, members of the church's hierarchy resolutely refused to acknowledge the allegations of child sexual abuse for as long as possible. First of all, through 2002, why are we just finding out about this 21 years later?
You said 1940s though, right?
1940s to 2002, but I'm saying like the report is 2020. We're in 2023 last time I checked.
Right.
These niggas had 82 years of abuse, and it's 2023 before someone officially is like, oh yeah, they was abusing kids like hotcakes.
Yeah, all that meant they were shipping them around and all that shit, so they could just abuse other children in other locations.
Included in the stories are alleged abusers provided victims with alcohol and drugs and describes in vivid detail how they coerce and force victims to perform sexual acts. The report list of abusers include clergy members, seminarians, deacons, teachers, and other employees of the Archdiocese. 43 priests who served in some capacity or resided within the Archdiocese of Baltimore committed sexual abuse. Of these 43 priests, 40 of them allegedly committed sexual abuse in only one other location, while the other 3 committed sexual abuse in 2 other locations, because they move you around when the rumors start buzzing. We're still just finding out stuff like this. Like the Spotlight was a whole ass movie that won awards and shit. That's got to be 5-7 years ago, and we're still finding shit out like this.
And these are just the ones we know. Imagine how many people, 82 years, a lot of the victims are dead.
A lot of the predators are dead.
Correct.
They didn't see no repercussions during their life because of this. Some of them might see some shit now at the end of life.
All right.
What about the kids that didn't come forward?
And never will.
Right. Because why would you come forward? Hey, we'll get around to this in 22 years. You know? So, yeah, I don't even know how you call this fucking justice. You know, the fact that a religious organization can allow this shit to happen on their watch and just be okay, like, just that be more important than prison. Like, these, I understand separation of church and state. I think when you're sexually assaulting children, we can go ahead and combine you to the state penitentiary. No more separation for your ass. All right. I hate to bring us down like this, guys, but it's gonna be one of those kind of shows. Y'all wanted us to come back.
They say this is what you want to say. Remember this.
Some of the y'all forgot some of the shows don't be that funny.
Yeah.
Teacher says the solution to school shootings is for every parent to get a high value life insurance policy for their kid. I mean, she's not wrong. In that it appears that we as the adults in the room are refusing to do anything about this shit.
Yeah. So I mean, it would make sense to you, like, you know what? I don't want my children to die, but shit, if they do, I don't want to have talk to prize to cover the expenses.
Yeah.
Your kids about disregarding fire alarms. Lots of times active attackers will pull the fire alarms to draw people outside of the classroom. I do understand that this poses another safety risk, but dying in a fire at school has much less probability than dying from a gun at school. Send emails, write letters, go to school board meetings, pushing for a single point of entry into every single school that is not attached to the main office. Something like this that is outside and away from the school that requires clearance for entry. If you or someone you know has been personally affected by school-based terror, first of all, I am so sorry. Secondly, sue the district. Whether you were in the school or in the area where a mass shooting has occurred, you are entitled to compensation. You endured pain and suffering. You most likely endured PTSD, and school districts are owned by the state. Money is all that matters to them.
That's a true fact. That's all that matters.
We missed a little at the beginning.
If you have a child who goes to school, right now, go get the highest value life insurance policy that you can. If we all insure our kids, insurance companies will have no choice but to lobby with us. Talk to your kids about disregarding fire.
Yeah.
Cause guess what? If enough parents get and enough kids die, and the people be like, "Bitch, pay me," them insurance companies gonna be like, "Whoa, we paying out way too much money," because they know a lot of parents. All jokes aside, a lot of parents assume their children will not die. They assume that they will never bury their children, even though it happens just from general life. Not even this, just general life.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you have enough people with some of these high policies and their children die, you have a mass shooter in the area, and all of a sudden you have hundreds, possibly thousands of parents cashing them bitches out. Yes, the insurance companies be like, y'all need to do something. We paying too much fucking money. Our thing is you pay us and we don't pay you. Like last thing we want to actually do is pay you. So we're having to pay out. So no.
Yeah. I mean, she's right. Everything she said was facts. I don't even know how you can argue with it. I think everybody that has kids should do that. Because, I mean, it's the money. It's the money. They don't care about your kids. And they don't even necessarily care about their own kids.
No, they don't.
Like a lot of people, they will never say it. But if you did a fucking lie detector test, hey, would you rather have your AR-15 and a small percentage chance that your kid gonna go to school and get killed by the same weapon that you own? Or would you rather nobody have an AR-15, including you, but you know your kid's coming back home? They'd be like, nah, I want my gun. Yep. I'll take that small percentage chance that my kid gets killed. It's fine. It's gonna be it won't be real until I hit the negative lottery and my kid don't make it home. Then I'll understand a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's gonna be a higher percentage than people think.
Trump indictment ends decades of perceived invincibility. Oh, we love to see it. Okay, come on down. Now they did get him on the so this, I like that he got charged with this shit, obviously. But this one is about Stormy Daniels and hush payments to try to keep her from going public with the fact that he fucked a porn star while he was married and the details of that. And some people are upset because they think it's petty. Of course, you know, white people going white. So you got people writing articles like, these are not the most serious charges, and this will make it easy for people to not take the other charges seriously. Number one, the motherfuckers that weren't going to take the other charges seriously weren't going to take them seriously no matter what.
Agreed.
If you get this nigga on tax evasion like you got Capone, fine.
Don't care.
But the other part of this is, this was supposed to be one of the cases that was dead. Mm-hmm. This is these charges were basically considered like a no-go just two years ago. Even we've known about this shit for a minute. The Manhattan DA was like, man, fuck that. He didn't go to trial. He didn't get a not guilty. I'm still investigating this shit, and I got tons of evidence. I'm charging this nigga with mad felonies. Let's go. And I respect that brother for that. And they are doing shit like guilty people do. By which I mean the Trumps are doing shit like Donald Trump Jr. put out a picture of the judge's daughter on social media. That sound like an innocent person? That sound like some mafia shit. You know,
what does his daughter have to do with him?
It's a threat.
Right.
I can't see no other way it's not a threat.
Right. So that people can recognize her out in public.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like why would you do that then? You know, putting the judge's name out there. It's the judge, keep in mind, not the DA, but they also are talking shit about the DA. Donald Trump called him a racist because, you know, the real racism in America is against white people, just like that dude in my mentions told me. But the thing I was going to say is it's proof to me, and the good news for all those, it's some type of like plot to get this man and all these law enforcement agencies, all these ADs and AGs working together. Well, if they were working together, this would not have skipped the line to the first.
No, I wouldn't have.
Like if I'm Merrick Garland and I'm working with the fucking AG in Atlanta and the AG in Buffalo and the AG in Manhattan, I'm gonna be like, guys, let me go first with the heavy charges, then y'all come in behind me. But he just was like, dominoes. like he just slammed the tape. Dominoes, bitch. It's like, oh, I don't even think, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It don't even matter. So
I feel like this is proof that that's not happening. This whole bullshit about, you know, it's some type of conspiracy to get him. But yeah, I am happy for it. Fuck him. Go to jail. I don't care if this is how you get him or not. Make him go to court. Make him expend some of that time. Now his ass will take the mug shot and put it on the front of his posters running for president, but don't let that fool you. He's scared.
Yes.
He don't want to go to jail. Mm-mm. This man do not want to go to jail. Go after his ass. Fuck with him for once. Let us stop being the ones that feel fucked with. Fuck with him. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. Not so happy about this. And I really don't have much to add, but people were asking, they were like, man, y'all had the week off, so y'all didn't talk about this. Jonathan Majors, accused of assault, sounded a little domestic violence-y. His accuser recanted the accusation, but if we're being fair, that don't really mean shit. Because like a lot of DV situations have this cycle of like the police will get involved to possibly save somebody's life or for whatever repercussions. And then the person will be like, no, don't charge him. Nothing happened. Like we saw this with Ray Rice when we saw physically what happened with Ray Rice. And I remember them putting his wife on the dais for the fucking Ravens to tell us all that it was a misunderstanding. Like we ain't have eyes. Now, supposedly there's video of this shit somewhere. I ain't seen it. I don't know if it's ever dropping or whatever, but if it's some type of exonerating situation, that's the only way that I could even understand some way of being like, oh, okay. Because right now I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like, this is not one of those things that typically happens where somebody just gets accused out of the blue for nothing. You know, where police show up and someone got fucking strangulation marks and shit on their face and they noticed it. Like, he's got witnesses. They got video supposedly from the Uber. The sounds on TMZ, the details they dropped, the alleged details was he was on his phone chat with some other woman. The woman he was in the car with, like, tried to get his phone or something, and physical altercation ensued, and police got called. I think the details his side is saying is he's the one that called the police. They're saying the woman had a mental episode and was in a mental hospital the next day. So they got text messages, but then the text messages, I mean, they don't necessarily sound like they don't sound like they could, like they don't exonerate him. Like the text messages aren't like, I made this all up and I'm sorry. So all that shit to say, I don't know.
Nope.
I really do. This is one of the reasons I stopped covering so much of the like accusation part of like stuff on this show. And I'm glad I did it a couple years ago, because our show was becoming like someone gets accused of something and then we're just like, they did it, the end. And then later when we find out they didn't,
time pass.
It ain't the same energy. It's impossible to have the same energy of like, oh, well, actually Justin Bieber wasn't even in the same city as those women. So they literally false accuse him. They won't be facing any level of like punishment for that, but he'll never get his rep back either. Like me not liking him is a real thing that happened that I can't just magically erase like it didn't happen, you know, and most people aren't willing to do that, and they just know something happened. They probably don't even know the exoneration part of it. So, you know, I don't necessarily know what happened here, but I think we're gonna find out, because this motherfucking star is too big.
We're gonna get down to the bottom of this.
He's too important to a lot of people for this shit to just go away.
Right.
And also, there was like a whisper campaign of like, never like that motherfucker anyway shit happening too on social media. Like, you know, he was always a piece of shit to me, you know. Oh, y'all just now finding out? First of all, man, let me tell you something. You're not the hero of the story to be the, oh, y'all didn't know. If you was the one that know and didn't tell nobody. I don't even, like, what is that?
Like to feel superior.
What is that? I would like, I really like, I don't, it's like, do you know how you sound? Oh, y'all didn't know he was a piece of shit because we been known. I just, you know, I was waiting on the right time. It's like, well, this is the right time was before this shit. Any time before this was the right time. You're not a hero. The fuck? It's like if I come up to somebody after they got robbed. Oh man, I ain't tell you. I knew them robbers. They was robbing people over here.
Like, I wish you would have warned me.
Fuck you. You part of the problem. You watch me walk down the alley. You watch me walk down Crime Alley.
You're right. Knowing I was going to get robbed.
You see my mama had these pearls on.
You could have stopped me.
We just coming out of Zorro trying to get to the parking lot a little faster.
Minding our own business, taking a shortcut.
You knew the name of this shit was Crime Alley. You not the hero here. Get the fuck out of here. God, man. People are so fucking weird with that. I hate that shit. All right. But yeah, so I guess we'll find out.
We sure will.
I guess we'll find out.
And also, guess what? You do not get a cookie for being the first, and you do not get punished for waiting.
Yeah, like I'm not,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like everybody wants you to come.
It's just a weird flex.
Takes,
it's a weird flex because the what they're always implying is this, like, oh, y'all didn't know. Like, nigga, what? You didn't say. Of course we didn't know. What, I'm supposed to look at the nigga and know this nigga abusive? I can just something about the creases in his forehead. I can't tell.
Not the creases in his forehead?
I can't tell. I don't have a fucking magic sense, motherfucker. God damn. But yeah, I can't imagine what kind of quote unquote evidence would have to come out for this dude to be exonerated. You know, good luck to everybody involved. That's a wild one. All right, let's get into some other news. Let's do a segment we haven't done in a while. Let's do some let's do some white people news. Trying to look for the short version. Thought I had it. Yeah.
White people news, we're bringing exciting to the barbecue. We might be problematic or a little intense. The sun's really harsh on our fragile pink skin. White people news.
That's right, white people news, everybody. You know how it gets down. We know how it goes down. Christina Aguilera
Okay.
makes a not safe for work confession while giving tips for oral sex.
Oh shit.
She went on one of them white women's sex podcasts, Call Her Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And she called herself a promoter of the swallow.
Not the swallow.
Not the bird swallow.
From Capistrano, that swallow?
She said swallow. That reference is too good. I don't even know that one.
I think come from a movie.
Swallowing is really a good thing. It's got a lot of protein. The singer told listeners.
Not a lot of protein.
There's something to be said for doing so after you put in the hard work. I mean, listen, you can get some people want protein from fish. Some people want protein from sperm. Okay. She's like, give me a semen sandwich, extra sperm, please. Okay. As Aguilera 42 continued to give tips, she noted it's really important to be with a partner where you can really explore. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
She said sexuality is a very specific thing. So like what one guy might like, the another one doesn't. There are some guys that don't like their balls being touched, and there are some guys that like brutal things happening to them. There are a lot of different levels.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like the sex podcast should I guess everyone's fascinated with sex, but I always feel like every sex podcast should kind of just be the same. Whatever you were into with another consenting person, more power to you.
Right. As long as everybody's consent and nothing is being done against anybody's will.
As long as everybody's an adult and everybody's consenting, I really don't have much for you. But it instead, the vast majority of them seem to turn into like some man versus woman shit, or the white woman version of this, which is like, oh my god, I'm having sex, I'm such a bad person, ooh, I'm naughty, give me money, everybody, come fuck me, and hey, if that's how you get your money, that's how you get your money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna knock it, but that feels like a white woman's white feminism idea of empowerment that like started a while ago, because the stigmas for them is to be like a pristine white untouched virgin, whereas the stigma for any other woman is y'all fucking, you hoes, you know what I mean? So like this is their empowerment of like, I'm fucking, I'm a hoe, and everybody else is kind of trying to get away from being labeled all these negative things. And so I think maybe that's where it comes from. But I mean, it's a big get, getting Christina Aguilera on your show to talk about sucking dick. That's a good get. After sharing some wild place she had sex, the shower, a commercial flight with blankets, bent over the soundboard in the studio, Christina spoke about losing her virginity later than most people would expect. I probably was the last person to lose my virginity. It was something that was for me. She did not divulge any more details. She said she was close with certain dancers while performing. You travel a lot, you have accessibility to only certain things. Didn't really have time to date fellow celebrities. My anxieties couldn't maybe take somebody that did the exact same thing I did. I know how this goes. I'm too vulnerable.
And on top of that, because you're quote unquote super famous, like the people that have the most fun is not the celebrity, it's the people around the celebrity, because they can go out and do shit.
Right.
The celebrity is normally the one that has to be locked up in the room. You know, you can't go anywhere. You really can't do anything. So yeah, I can see that. You're going, well, fuck, we in close proximity. We've been touring 8 months out of the year or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Our girl Martha Stewart, 81.
Oh, she 81.
Posted a thirst trap on the gram, and everybody was giving her a lot of praise for it.
Honey, she out here. She trying to get them.
She is delivering on her promise to us to continue posting thirst traps. Though the lifestyle Maven's 2-slide Instagram upload on Wednesday was accompanied by the news of a derailed travel plans, many of her fans seem more interested in her stunning skin, perfect pout, and bouncy blonde blowout. Martha straight killing it, looking fabulous, Miss Martha. Maybe the best of it, making the best of it, and giving us all a gift in the process. Heart flame emoji, it seems.
Come on, she out here trying to get your uncles and your grandpas. Don't fuck around. She's still your man.
Yeah.
She already said she been looking at her husband friends going, I hope y'all die soon.
Look at her giving you that bounce with that hair.
Come on.
Now I am a little bit worried about this.
She like, this pussy still pop.
I'm a little bit worried about this. Papa, yeah. I'm still worried. I'm a little bit worried about this. And the reason I'm worried is that sometimes I wonder if she's a bad influence on America's Sweetheart. You know, I don't want Calvin getting in no trouble. You know, I know she like to pal around, but like this hot girl stuff, when you talking about a family man like Snoop Dogg, a household name.
Come on, America's Sweetheart.
America's Sweetheart making Corona commercials with Andy, what's his name? Like, I get a little nervous about him hanging around with a convicted felon who's out here on the gram stunting on people and
start popping.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that she's gonna be a bad influence. I hope Snoop doesn't fall prey into any of her shenanigans. You know,
me same.
Ashley Graham, praise for inspiring bikini pics. She's so real for this. There's a theme today. I know I picked these articles, but I didn't realize. From like Christina Aguilera over here. But yeah, so she posted a series of bikini photos on Instagram Tuesday to promote her collaboration with tanning brand Saint Tropez, and didn't shy away from showing her stretch marks and cellulite and seemingly unretouched snaps. Yeah, I mean, this is always weird to me because what we call fine and gorgeous on models and shit is always like, I guess it's supposed to be unattainable, right? It's supposed to be like, this woman is beautiful because she's 6'5", weighs 75 pounds, and da 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 da. And I guess that's cool for some people, but I've always been like, we all know women actually Graham size. You work with them, you see them walking down the street or whatever. That's fine as fuck, but it's always been like they not supposed to be fine, or like they got stretch marks, but we not supposed to know that they got stretch. Like, you never seen a body before, like, but I guess it's just weird to see. Like, it's dope, she's beautiful and all that stuff, but it's kind of always weird to see people be like, she's so brave to be fine and over 104 pounds. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I call that brave. I guess every woman's brave. Then there's a lot of brave ass fine women all the time.
And also I think it's almost like the same way when I think it was Jennifer Aniston or one of them. No, I forgot one of them with the hair came up with the gray hair and everybody was like, it's so brave.
Oh yeah, it was the one from Sex and the City,
right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so and to me, I look at this the same.
Yeah,
because it's one of those things for a lot of women, they feel so judged in their own bodies and in their own skin.
Right.
And you know, their whole thing is a lot of times, you know, they're shot, you know, because they Photoshop and curve, and so they kind of erase all your imperfections. So a lot of women are like, you're so brave for going out there and showing your body as is. But like you say, people have bodies similar to this all of the time.
She's had a couple kids,
right?
She's been pregnant. She has stretch marks, of course, like, but she never stopped being fine.
No, she did not.
I guess it's just the weird world of Hollywood where we're supposed to be like, wow,
People
look
love
at
the
her.
illusion.
She's still attractive. It's like, nigga, she always was.
And probably always will be.
But yeah, I mean, I do love that she didn't touch it. I mean, because if we're being fair, a lot of motherfuckers do retouch everything and do the whole kit and caboodle where it's just you know, you gotta airbrush your shit, you gotta put the filters on. You know, I see my friends and stuff using the filters, you know, even just to do a TikTok, people got to put a full face of makeup on. And I'm not even knocking them for this. I'm saying they have to, because there is a motherfucker out there that'd be like, ew, you ain't put on no makeup for this, and then you start feeling self-conscious and bad about the shit. So I definitely do think what she's doing is dope and brave, but it's also just like patently ridiculous. We live in a world where we're like, that's bravery. You know,
right? That's just like Megan Thee Stallion. She came out with a pick that she actually picked, and I think it was similar to this, where they didn't like, you know, do all this stuff, and people complained, and she was like, "That's the pick I picked." And people like went after like the photographer, like, y'all made her do this, and she was like, "No, bitch, I picked. This is the pick that I wanted." Right? Like the fuck are y'all? And because people have this delusion with this unrealistic expectation, like, you're not supposed to look regular. I really do think people look at them like, you're not supposed to look regular. So when you look regular, that means they internalize that. Like, if you're regular like me, that means that I'm less special. I don't.
You're supposed to look unachievable, I guess.
Yes.
Like your look.
It's very, that relationship, that parasocial relationship is crazy. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's fine as shit, but just, I don't know. It's news that she decided
it's news.
She decided to take her fine ass and take some pictures, and we like, this is that white people need to know about this. White people news, okay? Let's see. New Mexico is hiring professional bear huggers.
What, so the bears can fuck you up?
Looking for a job? If you like wildlife and don't mind dealing with problem animals, you could work as a bear hugger. The New Mexico Department of Fish and Game are hiring so-called bear hugger that has the courage to crawl into a bear den. The department posted a job opening for conservation officers on Facebook, saying that viable applicants must have the ability to hike in strenuous conditions, crawl into bear dens, and trust that their coworkers will keep them safe. They acknowledge that not all law enforcement field work is this glamorous, but that this is an experience of a lifetime.
I better be, because when a bear cubs fuck you up because they hug a little too tight, it's a problem, ain't it?
Here's a picture of them with some little baby bears.
Okay, so they're doing baby bears.
I mean, this one is a baby bear, but where it come from?
Right?
An adult bear somewhere.
Right, looking for that cub, gonna come around there and fuck y'all up.
You also will investigate wildlife damage and help develop new regulations, relocate wildlife, educate the public about wildlife, and go into bears' houses and get porridge. Sleep in their beds.
Talk about how the bed's too lumpy.
Applicants are required to have a bachelor degree. Oh, I gotta have a bachelor degree for this shit? Get the fuck out of here.
That makes sense. You don't want no fucking rando out here shooting up Bud Lights talking about let me go out here and go in the bear cave. No. Have some education.
Ain't no bachelor degree for hugging bears.
You probably got to know about bears. You can't be like, oh, this is a cute bear.
What school is this? I'm just saying, what school is this? Bear Hugging Academy. What, they got that at Howard?
It makes sense. It makes sense.
HBC. First of all, it's racist. No HBCU got a bear hugging program.
They don't.
Of course not.
Ain't got no bear hugging school.
We don't do that. So already it's racist.
I'm pretty sure they don't want you going out here bear hugging and you don't know about the anatomy of a goddamn bear. So of course you're gonna have to do some form of studying or something.
I don't trust it, y'all. I don't trust it. Karen's too trusting. I don't trust it.
I don't want no.
Feels racist. That's why I said white people news, because we not gonna be doing this.
I don't want you out here being regular smuggler walking up in the bear dens.
I think you just have to be white. This is all. This is all a lie. Biological sciences, police science, or law enforcement, nature resources conservation, ecology, or similar fields like criminal justice, geography, physics, psychology, zoology, or others. Or others, nigga.
What is these or others?
Just say white. You're gonna be out there with a business administration degree.
What you gonna be an accountant talking about you gonna let me show you how to debit that rock. The fuck is this?
I'm counting how many of these bear cubs I could pick up.
You gonna write some of these cubs off on your taxes? Get out of here.
Nice try. The Bears probably wrote this job description.
So the Bears can fuck you up when you walk in there.
This is a trick. You gonna show up at the job interview. It's gonna be a bear and a human mask.
It's the campaign, the Big Bear.
Yeah,
the big bear to get them.
Yeah, have a seat over there. You bring any picnic baskets? Like,
Yes.
hey, what kind of fucking interview is this?
Right. But like, why are you looking at me like this?
Can we eat them yet, Yogi?
What? Yeah, that's a complete trap. Don't apply for the job, y'all.
Yeah, a Bear Den. If you like that, y'all niggas want DoorDash. Just say you want DoorDash. That's all it is. It's a Bear DoorDash. Yeah, do y'all make deliveries to the Bear Den? And trust your coworkers to save you. Don't worry. Dendash. Go to the Bear Den. Dash your ass up in here.
You better hope you got enough strength to dash your ass away.
Right. Like,
Cause you're gonna be tired talking about long hikes and shit. Shit, you probably gonna have to walk 8 miles just to get to the den.
Yeah, you can't trick me. Nice try, buddy. Nice fucking try.
I see you.
Tom Cruise will reportedly take no part in his daughter Suri's upcoming big life choice.
TV show, television show, movie. What is it?
Tom Cruise's daughter is Suri Cruise.
Okay.
So she's now almost 17 years old. She's starting the college process, but Tom Cruise not gonna help her.
Okay. No. Okay, I thought you meant like she was acting in some. I was about to be confused. Okay, I'm with you now. I understand. Oh, he's like, you got this.
He has had no contact with her since 2012, I think.
He's been doing all of the movies.
He got divorced in 2012 and has not seen his only child since then. She's leaning towards staying in Manhattan and pursuing a career in fashion. Suri is applying to schools all over the place. Katie really does want her to stay in New York so they can be close to each other. Katie takes great pride in her, but is also extremely overprotective. And like any mom with a teen, leaving the nest, Holmes is overwhelmed with mixed emotions. The father and daughter have not seen each other since 2013, which was 1 year after his divorce with Holmes. She ended the marriage because she did not want Suri to be raised around the Church of Scientology.
I remember that. That was a big thing.
Despite their strange relationship, Tom is apparently holding up the financial end of their split, even though he don't be seeing the kid. And this is all I'm saying. This is what it takes to be the best action movie star of all time.
You got to abandon everybody.
You got to have this level of dedication. How many people you know that's willing to be like, nah, I am not taking care of my kid. Fuck that shit.
Fuck them kids.
Mission Impossible is coming. I got a plane to jump out of for a movie trailer. Not the movie trailer. Like, that's the kind of shit I'm on. So y'all just gonna have to excuse your boy. I'm not gonna make it to the recital. Okay? Ever, by the way. Not this one. None of them.
Never. I ain't gonna never make it to one.
I gotta hop in a jet and save everybody from a nebulous country of vaguely spicy white people. I gotta do that for America and for to put the movie theaters on my back.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, you kind of have to respect it.
I mean, have you seen me run? Like,
right.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry.
That's how he ran out of her life at top speed. Knees just up to his chest.
Yes.
Focused.
You gonna get that money, you just ain't gonna get me.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I gotta respect it. You know, you almost hate to respect it, but I mean, y'all tell me. You know, this is what it takes to be the greatest, and yeah, this is why he the GOAT.
Come on,
shout out to you, Tom. We appreciate your sacrifice. This man didn't get to have his kids in his life so that we could have Top Gun, Maverick.
Come on,
so we can have Mission Impossible trailers that are epic. He said, I won't see my kids.
I won't see my kids.
Don't let the freedom.
Boom.
Like that.
That's my jam.
He said, listen,
that's the job. Yes, Angela.
My daughter crawled so I could walk out her life, so I could run in the theater for these movies.
Yes, I did it just for you. I did it just for you when you just don't care.
You welcome, America. So yeah, I appreciate you, Tom, and I'm not gonna take it for granted, man. I know you really didn't have to do any of this stuff.
I salute you.
Heartbreak feels good, and apparently your daughter's life and a place like the movie theater.
Come on. Come on. The greatest impossible white man of all time, dog.
So
top 5, and nigga, you ain't 5.
That's what it takes. Oh man.
I salute you.
Shout out to Tom. That's white people news, everybody. I guess we should wrap this up. We got a late start tonight. Let's do some sword ratchetness. Well, how long has this episode been? Oh, it's almost an hour and a half. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do some sword ratchetness. You know what? Let's do some guest stories first. Y'all, we didn't do any, we didn't do a show yesterday. Let's give y'all some guest stories. I know that's what y'all really want. Here we go.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
That's right. Guess the race time. Going around the globe, find different articles. Guess the race of the people involved. Karen is playing along. And of course, she's racist. A Brevard man wields a machete at a bar after karaoke request denied. Oh, sword ratchetness and guess the race. He put an 18-inch machete at a bar after being denied
18 inches.
Another karaoke song. He was arrested Sunday. His name was Travis Jordan. He faces a breach of peace due to disorderly conduct charge in connection with the incident that occurred at Kennedy's Lamp Post Tavern. First of all, that's a lot of pressure,
right,
on the karaoke people. Like, I want one more song. Shing. Like, oh, hold up.
I guess you're gonna get that song.
Deputies responded to the bar shortly before 2 p.m. Who does karaoke that early with a sword? He was unsteady on his feet. He was bloodshot and glassy eyed, smelling strongly of alcohol.
You don't say.
Deputies spoke with a person who said he pulled out the machete, which was concealed on his body. After someone denied his request to sing another karaoke song, the woman, afraid of the safety of others, coaxed the suspect into peacefully handing over the machete. According to the affidavit, a member of the bar staff then hid the weapon and called law enforcement. Everyone started freaking out. He admitted to wielding the weapon. He told deputies he was threatened days prior and had to stay alert to protect himself. But he had not been in danger the night he pulled the machete out. All right, Karen, guess the race.
What was the name? I'm going
Travis Jordan.
White.
Karen's going white. Check the chat room, see what they believe. Connor Roy singing Desperado white. Right. It's kind of slow today. Might be my internet. Fundamental rights white. Lyrical Lancelot white. Everybody's going white on this one. Indians Tim Jones white. Karaoke white. The song was Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting white. Oh, Indiana. Okay. Yeah, the correct answer is everybody said white, including Karen. And you all got it wrong. He's black.
What? With that basic ass name. Wow.
Travis Jordan. I mean, that's a black man.
Yes, that is.
Guess we don't got to do sword ratchetness today since we kind of covered it already.
We got a 2 for 1.
Damn. All right, let's do another one, y'all. Delaware man is accused of trying to carjack an off-duty officer in unmarked police car.
Oh shit!
Carjack off that's not the kind I was thinking about.
Not at all. This is why y'all don't need to be in unidentifiable vehicles. You wouldn't have got carjacked.
A Delaware man facing charge. Well, I guess they didn't technically get carjacked. He tried.
Yeah.
A Delaware man facing
They
charges.
wouldn't even approach you. You'd have been in your vehicle.
Says he tried to carjack an off-duty officer in an unmarked car minutes after he tried to rip another person from the driver's seat of their car. Mark Tannen, 22, has been charged with 2 counts of the second-degree attempted robbery and is being held at Wilmington Jail after failing to post $5,000 bond. Investigators say around 9 p.m. Tuesday, Tannen, a Wilmington resident, was fought off by a driver who he attempted to forcefully remove from their car on East Main Street. Minutes later, authorities allege he opened the door to an unmarked police car and tried to forcefully remove the officer out of the car, the off-duty officer. As the officer identified himself as law enforcement, Tannen fled and was chased by the officer, eventually helped arrest him with the help of other officers. Investigators say no one was hurt in either attempted carjacking and no weapon was used during either alleged crime. He was on some Grand Theft Auto.
What was his name?
His name is Mark Tannen. Mark Tannen.
I'm going white.
Karen's going white. He really needed to run. Okay, Reno 911 shit. White. It do feel like get Officer Dangle on this one.
Yes. Only thing better, he'd have been in some roller skates and short shorts.
Right.
Now that would have made it even better.
Call Jonesy. Ain't no nigga named Tannen white. Feel like a little gunshot now that they got that
first one wrong. You messed them up with that first one.
Everybody's saying white, the ones who are brave enough to guess. The rest of you
cowards, the ones that was bold enough.
The rest of you cowards didn't say anything, and you don't get this applause. Scared money don't make money. That's him.
Oh, he did that shit.
Yeah. Man, that's not even really a plan. You know what I mean? That's the
shit. I panicked because a bee got in the car. Somebody fucking try to grab you. I'm good, homie.
That's true. Speaking of panicking when things are in the car, let's go to the next one.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Bonus round. Karen is 1-1. And yeah, today we got in the car and a wasp got in the car with us.
I don't know how he decided to swing in there with me.
Well, they're always inspecting stuff now, looking for like areas to make a nest. Or so they can grow more of those hell beast wasps. So Karen was freaking out and I had to
I went in straight panic mode because I seen something moving. And at first, like, is it on the inside of the glass or the outside of the glass? I couldn't figure it out because it was just beating on the glass.
And so I had to be like, it's okay. I got you. Everything's fine. I'm just gonna roll the window down. It was already trying to get out the window.
We both were trying to get away from each other.
I just said, don't swing, don't move, because wasps will sting anything that moves suddenly. And wasps don't die after a sting. They can sting you multiple times. And so I just said, it's fine. And then it flew out and we were fine. Well, imagine that same thing in Johannesburg, South Africa. Mid-air in the cockpit of a plane, a venomous snake was under the pilot's seat.
The driver?
I felt this little cold sensation underneath my shirt where my hip is situated. But basically where you got your little love handles, said this South African pilot, Rudolph Erasmus.
Oh, no.
When he looked down, the pilot saw a highly venomous Cape Cobra under his seat. Erasmus felt a slithering stowaway as he was piloting the private flight from South Africa's Western Cape to the northeastern town of Nelspruit. As I turned to my left and looked down, I could see the head of the snake receding back underneath my seat. At which point there was a moment of stunned silence, to be brutally honest. He decided to turn the light aircraft around and make an emergency landing to close the airport and welcome. I then informed my passengers what was going on, but everyone remained calm. This is your pilot speaking. I have a cobra underneath my seat.
But we're airlocked in here, so it can't get out and you can't get in.
We're at 10,000 miles of cruising. It's gonna be 85 degrees in Johannesburg when we land.
Yeah,
I will need a change of pants if anyone has a spare set of pants when we land.
There's going to be a little delay. I know our flight was supposed to be 3 hours.
Right.
But I happened to find a snake up beneath my seat. So we're going to land at the nearest airport.
This flight will be landing where we took off. And it will only be a 15-minute flight.
Yes, we just took off. I'm turning around. That's really, I'm going to turn this car back around.
Because you know what you don't want to hear from the cockpit. This is your pilot speaking. There's a snake in the cockpit with me right now. And we're going to try to... Uh-oh.
Don't want to hear uh-oh.
That's what you don't want to hear.
You do not want to hear uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
I think I'm a bit.
Well, it's looking like we got about 15 minutes to land this thing anywhere. I'm gonna try to aim for a hospital. We'll probably land on a highway or a parking lot right outside the hospital. Because if not, I'm gonna die. Got me again. 7 minutes. Yeah, the bite can kill someone in as little as an hour. He said his first thoughts was the passengers. I was more afraid of what the snake might do. Luckily, it didn't strike anyone. Otherwise, that would have changed or complicated the whole situation. Of course, it drew comparisons to the cinematic masterpiece from 2006.
You and Chris's favorite.
Snakes on the Plane, where Samuel L. Jackson played an FBI agent and let loose an expletive-laden tirade when he discovered the plane was full of venomous snakes. Erasmus says he'd seen the movie some time ago and the tirade was playing outside of his own head. That's how I felt at some point. He's been praised by South African Civil Aviation Commissioner Papi Kosa, who called him a hero and said he saved all the lives aboard. Since landing, however, the snake has not been found.
What? If y'all don't take this bitch apart and find that motherfucker?
It seems to have boarded and disembarked, everyone hopes, on its own. Yeah, okay. Until the next flight. Who the next pilot of that plane?
Y'all better find that bitch. I won't be flying that plane no more.
This nigga got his pilot's license? Nah, I'm good. I won't be taking that trip.
And then you get the wrong pilot, but like, well, this is your captain speaking. I guess the snake is officially flying the plane.
Yep.
This plane is officially under the snake's care.
This is your pilot speaking. You may see me walk by you to the emergency exit with a parachute on. Please remain calm as I exit the plane.
Oh, you know what? It's gonna be like Rick and Morty. The pilot not gonna come out. Everybody, people ain't gonna know what the fuck is happening.
Guess the race of the pilot.
The race of the pilot. I'm going black.
Karen's going with black. Let's check the chat room and see what they believe the race of this pilot, whose name is Rudolph Erasmus. It says Airsman. Oh wait, no one's guessed yet.
Yeah, it might be
Black.
slow. Yeah.
Black says DJ. White says Lakita. Snakes on the Motherland plane. Samuel L. Jackson. Black. White is very divided. White says Cass. All right. The correct answer is Karen. You said black.
Mm-hmm.
He's white. A lot of people did get it.
I guess I should have known it. He was too calm, huh?
Yeah, well, also I didn't do an African accent or anything when I did the impression of him. All right, y'all, that's it. We'll talk to you guys Saturday for our feedback show for regular listeners, and for the premium folks, of course, we got a movie review coming out for Mario. We saw Super Mario Brothers, and we'll be putting that in your feed. And then, of course, tomorrow, late night, Balls Deep Sports. And yeah, that's it. So until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you.